So this is going to be a quick gear update video. I'm at mile 1105, so that's halfway point of the AT. Just go over how the gear is holding up, what changes I have made. It's not going to be any particular order. I'm probably going to ramble a lot, but I will try and cover every piece of the gear. So first thing, I swapped out the trekking pole. This is actually 60 cents other pole. Mine, the thing just like came apart one day. I think it was fixable, but that was at Four Pines, and we were like, whatever, I don't want to deal with this. Fanny pack is holding up super well. I seam sealed all the stuff around the zippers, and it's actually fairly waterproof. Let's talk about the pack. So overall, it is holding up really well. What I've noticed is I've got a little bit of tearing on the hip belt. This mesh is holding together. Nothing is breaking on the mesh. The side pockets work really well. They hold my water bottles. Water bottle hasn't fallen out yet. That was a problem for me with the Hyperlight on the AT. I lost my water bottle a couple times. I had to go back and try and find my filter. The zipper is broken now, but that's not a huge deal. Comfort on this pack, having this foam pad as the backrest is pretty important. I tried it without and with, and this adds a lot of structure to the pack, which is a little bit of a negative because now I have a inflatable mat that I'll talk about a little bit later. So this is basically useless to me, except it adds structure to the pack. So, without this extra width in here, the hip belt is too small, and they kind of designed it with this in mind, that you'd have, extra thickness with your pad. But this pad actually worked really well for me as well. Besides the first night, I've been able to sleep through the night every night, definitely more comfortable on the ground versus the hard floor of a shelter. But yeah, it works really well for a $14 pad. I think in the winter times, it would get colder, but when it's so hot out here, this thing would work. God damn, that bird is so loud. I really like it. I've been able to cook real food in it. I like it so wide. Like, we cooked some steaks in it the other night, cooking a pound of frozen hamburger. So I'm gonna use this like on every thru hike now. This is my go-to pot. So electronics bag. So I ended up switching over to a Nightcore 20K just because this can do super fast charging, which can then charge my camera right here, which I'm using a Sony a6700. So everybody asked about the shorts. They're from Amazon. Links in the description. Pretty much haven't worn this, just use it as a pillow. And I got rid of my puffy in Four Pines, and yeah, haven't missed that at all. It's been so damn hot. But what a cool little bag, right? This was just from Ripstop by the Roll, and I built it, and it costs like 14 bucks. And it's Dyneema, waterproof. This is the Nemo tensor. It doesn't have the same kind of baffles as the Thermarest, and that's what always fails on those. The baffles pop and then you're sleeping on a balloon. So I don't think this is going to fail in the same way. It's been super comfortable. I definitely sleep way better. So the difference between foam pads and these inflatable pads for me is a foam pad I'll wake up 3 or 4 times in the night. Inflatable pad I'll sleep through the whole night, and so that is improved sleep quality, which is huge when you're hiking. The tent, it's worked really well. I think, if it's rained more, I might have a different, experience with the tent, but it's hardly rained at all. The one issue is the seam seal. It doesn't really last that well on a thru hike. I'm constantly putting this in my pack, taking it out of my pack, and the seam sealing, you can see here, like it just likes to peel off. And I think the lesson there is don't put a ton on, because I definitely overdid it. So far in the little rainstorms that we've had, I've stayed, relatively dry. It definitely gets condensation on the inside, but all told, for a 1.5 pound tent that was 120 bucks, I'm happy with it. Socks, just been using darn tough, no complaints. All along the trail, you can do the exchanges and whatnot. I actually really love this towel. So it was like $3 and super lightweight. I've been using it a ton. Sleeping bag, sleeping quilt that I made. This is 1 pound 5 ounces, and it again has been so hot the last couple of days that I have literally not touched the quilt. Like, it's sat in the bottom of my tent, and I slept through the whole night, nothing, just in my t-shirt and shorts. That's how hot it's been, but it's worked really well. I was You know, when I was putting it together, this 0.66 nylon, it's so thin, you know, you're afraid you're gonna tear it, but it's, yeah, it actually holds up really well. Just my plastic bag on the inside of my pack that is an extra layer of waterproofing. Peak design, this is what I clip my camera to. If you're gonna carry a camera, definitely get a Peak Design Capture Pro clip. The tripod that I use is Aoka. It is a 1 pound tripod. I really like it. Latest version, you kind of got to figure out, there's a whole bunch of different modes and buttons, and it's kind of confusing, but once you figure it out, not that big of a deal. And it's cool because it has USB-C charging, so you don't need to carry that extra USB-C micro cable like with the older models, and then you can run it while it's charging. So the times when we're hiking like all night, right, this doesn't hold enough charge, but I can just hook it directly up to my battery and run it all night. So that's really, really handy. Let's see, got my Sawyer, you know, working great. Yeah, no reason not to have a Sawyer out here. Minus this quilt that I made, like all of this stuff was under 350 bucks for the tent, for the pack, for the, you know, pad. So that's pretty wild, I think. So that's the halfway update. We're gonna go eat some ice cream, try and eat a half gallon of ice cream, and see how that goes.